Ghost Pirates fans, welcome to episode 5 of Beyond the Graveyard, and I am joined by Ryan Scarfo, number 9, forward for the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Scarf, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem. Happy to be here.
So are you a little skeptical about the media here in Savannah? There's a huge presence here. Cameras are going to be in your face. They've already been in a couple of your teammates' faces, but you're a couple weeks into a Ghost Pirates tenure, and how do you feel?
I feel great. Obviously, I played for Rick at Union College for 4 years, and played against Savannah last year, being in South Carolina. So far, so good. The facilities are great. The guys are awesome, and I'm looking forward to a great season.
Yeah, and you've played in this building on Market Arena as a visitor, and now you're playing here as a member of the home team. You walk into this locker room, which we're in right now, and what was your first impression?
I was kind of blown away just by how nice everything is. Obviously, different teams have different resources, but they did a great job, putting this place together. And even just playing here last year with the crowds and the fans and, the support, you can tell how much they really love it here. So just kind of can't wait to get started and really excited to be a part of it.
Well, we're certainly happy, Ryan, to have you on our side this time around because the Ghost Pirates, the worst team against to play was South Carolina. They won 1 game out of 10, so every time we'd see the Stingrays, it wasn't the, most positive outcome, but that's what you do, right? If you can't beat them, kind of just rip away some players. But no, you've been in this league for a little bit. You've been in the American Hockey League and Savannah, Georgia. What a weird spot to have a pro hockey team, but you've seen the crowd support through year 1.
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, there's not really another professional sports team. They have the Savannah Bananas, kind of a little different, but you can tell how much people like it here. And, interestingly enough, my mom was actually born in Savannah because my grandfather was in the Air Force. So she spent about a year here, but hasn't been back since. So she's looking forward to getting down, and kind of funny how life works that way. And now I'll be playing here. So like I said, just really excited to get started.
Yeah, so you have that connection with Ghost Pirates head coach Rick Bennett at Union College, and now you see him as a coach in pro hockey. So when last season wraps up after the first round in South Carolina, was Savannah always on your radar, or how did that come about?
I wouldn't say it was immediately on the radar. Or anything like that. Just kind of obviously take a little time to process the season, kind of go home, spend some time with family and friends, reset a little bit. And Rick, reached out to me and my agent and stuff like that. So it was kind of, I guess, interest from him, but, I've always respected Rick, and he had reached out even the year before, ended up going to South Carolina, signed with Hershey. But anyways, I've always respected Rick, and I knew they had a good thing after seeing it last year, so just kind of, fell into it, and, yeah, couldn't be happier.
Have you noticed any difference in the early part of training camp here? Rick Bennett as a Union head coach, Rick Bennett as a Savannah head coach?
I guess a little bit, yeah, but I think, when you draw the parallels between college and pro, not everything's going to be the same, so I sort of expected that. It's been a little while since, I've played for Rick, but I think he's always been a great coach, and like I said, some things are different, but kind of know what he expects, what he wants from the group, and more importantly, bringing good character and good leadership to the room, I think is a huge thing too. So those are things that I kind of know what he expects, and so I try to bring that every day if I can.
And you've been around the hockey world for quite some time, and you know that it is a small world. You come into this locker room, Sebastian Vidmar, a teammate once upon a time.
Yep.
Peter Tischke, another teammate of yours in the American League. So now you're all in Savannah in the same locker room.
Yeah.
That must have given you some comfortability as well as head coach Rick Bennett.
Yeah, 100%. I think, anytime you go into a new group, it's always nice to know at least one guy. Having 2 or even 3 with Estes on the back end as well. He was a freshman when I was a senior at Union, so just familiar faces definitely helps kind of the transition. And like I said, I think Rick and the staff have done a great job bringing in character guys, so it's usually pretty easy to fit in when you have a good group in the room. So by the looks of it and from what it's been the last couple weeks, I think we do have that here. So
we're here with Ghost Pirates forward Ryan Scarfo, number 9. Is there any significance behind number 9? My favorite player of all time is Paul Correa.
Okay.
And he wore number 9. Yeah. So was 9 always a number? Or?
Yeah, always really a number for me. I wouldn't say there was a player that I really liked that had it. I think it was kind of, I wore it when I was young, and I just kind of ran with it, kind of stuck with it. It was always my number. In fact, I wore it at Union for the 4 years there. So That was one of the things I had said, is it available? Because I'd love to have that. So kind of going back to my roots a little bit, but sure enough, it ended up being available. So looking forward to wearing it this year.
And going even further back to your roots growing up, there's so many different stories about players, staff, how they get attracted to the game of hockey, how they get exposed to it. So for you, what was that like? Was there a moment that really stuck out?
Geez, I don't know, really. I mean, my dad didn't really play competitively growing up as much. Played in high school, but nothing really past that. And I think he just kind of always loved hockey. And I had a neighbor who played growing up, so between going to the rink for public skate or whatever, and then, playing street hockey with probably him and his friends, I just kind of fell in love with hockey, and, the rest is history. So it kind of was always something that I guess came a little natural to me. Maybe more than other people, and yeah, it's been great. So,
is there a favorite team growing up?
Yeah, the Boston Bruins, and I still am a huge fan, so I wouldn't be shy about that. Tough seeing Bergeron retire. He had a great career, but he was probably my favorite player growing up. So,
I was just going to ask, is there a guy that you model your game after in a sense, even growing up, maybe a Joe Thornton type guy?
Yeah, I mean, I would say Bergeron was always my favorite. I think maybe we play a little different in certain respects, but he just plays the game the right way and, has always been one of the best all-around 200-foot players. So kind of try to be that type of player. I think a lot of my career I have been able to do a pretty good job with that, and he just kind of carries himself like a true pro, and you never really hear anything about him. He's just kind of quiet and I guess always kind of calm, cool, collected type leader. But, yeah, it would definitely be different not seeing him out there this year for them.
So in 2011, Game 7, Vancouver versus Boston, do you remember where you were?
I do, yeah. I was at home at my neighbor's, or I wasn't at home, but I was at my neighbor's back in Chelmsford, Mass. We had the whole neighborhood party watching in the basement, and it was my dad, my mom was there as well, and, we always got together for the games, so it was nice enough to, kind of a nice moment for, I guess, me and my dad, because it had been, I think, 39 years since they won a Stanley Cup. So kind of getting to share that with him and, being a fan was really nice. So it's great. 2013
and 2019, not so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a Blues fan. I'm from Chicago as well.
You're right.
So, I mean, Bickle and Boland, those 2 goals in 17 seconds, the Blues in Game 7. But Boston has always been that type of city to surround themselves with that blue-collar style, tough. I mean, you see it with their baseball team, with the Red Sox, the Patriots having their dynasty. Yeah. I'm a Patriots fan. We can go into my affiliations another time. But what was it like growing up in that area of, so much hardware, the hometown sports teams?
I mean, I would simply just say spoiled is kind of how I say that we are, just because it's really, truly incredible when you think about kind of the championships that the city has won. The Patriots, I think, 6, and the Red Sox with 3, the Celtics with 1 or 2, I can't remember exactly, and and then obviously the Stanley Cup. But some cities go years and years without any sport getting one. So just kind of being part of a place which is already kind of loves sports so much, and then getting to see the teams celebrate those victories, it really is kind of special being from there. I don't know about the Patriots right now.
It's tough.
Might have to give Bill a call and ask him what's going on there, because they got some issues to correct. But like I said, we were spoiled for a long time, so it's it's hard to complain as a fan.
Yeah, at the top of the AFC East for so long, never losing against Miami, Buffalo, especially the Jets. They still, I think, beaten the Jets 16 straight times. But man, it's tough watching Mac Jones. Do you think you could do a better job back there?
I'm not going to sit here and say I could do a better job, because I don't think I could. But, I'll just say I think a lot of pressure having that position in New England, with just how much people love it and, how much they care and pay attention. So, I feel for the guy in a way, but at the same time, it's, you do take on that responsibility, so you have to go out and perform. So hopefully he can pick it up in the coming weeks and kind of, correct a name for himself, I guess.
So if Ryan Scarfo was not a professional hockey player, is there another sport you think you could have gone through, maybe some that you wanted to?
I would say if it was another sport, it would be baseball. I was a pretty good baseball player growing up. I played my whole life, just like hockey. Never, I guess, loved it as much as I loved hockey. Kind of spent more time, my parents spent more money on hockey, but played right up into my senior year of high school. And I'm sure if I maybe pursued it a little more, could have gone down a different path in college with baseball, but just always loved hockey more, so I never wanted to give that up for anything else.
I peg you as a center fielder.
Yeah, that is exactly right. I don't know if you
maybe
looked up my stats or
I
whatever.
I just feel like you've got the mobility, you've got the agility.
Kind of, I played growing up, Little League, more so the infield, I guess. But when I got kind of more serious, like in high school, I loved center field and played that for like all 4 years throughout high school. So I loved it. I thought it was awesome, just tracking down balls, and yeah, it was great.
Did you ever play lacrosse?
I never tried lacrosse.
Was it big growing up on the East Coast at your time?
I would say not as big as it is now, but definitely was becoming big probably when I was in middle school, kind of into high school. A lot of my buddies played and really enjoyed it. A lot of hockey buddies had kind of done the lacrosse route. If it wasn't baseball, it was lacrosse or whatever. So, but yeah, I never got into it. I just had always played baseball for so long, so I never switched. But
we'll have to get you out with the Bananas this year.
Yeah, it'd be great. I watched the game on TV this year. These guys are on TV. I think that's the team. Yeah. Then I found out they were actually up in Massachusetts this summer. They do a whole world tour. So pretty good stuff. I'm kind of looking forward to catching one of their games in the whenever the season starts, sometime in the spring or something. I don't know when they start exactly, but yeah, should be exciting.
Instead of the first pitch, they do a first banana.
Okay.
I think that's pretty cool. So do you think in that pressure-filled moment you'd be able to throw a strike?
I mean, with a banana, maybe with a baseball, but I mean, there's enough pressure with a baseball to throw a banana in the mix. I'm not sure. You never really know.
Well, hopefully some more confidence on the ice this weekend against Norfolk, against Atlanta. It's the first game at home this season for the Ghost Pirates. Also their first game in the regular season. Last year, Savannah started 5 straight games on the road. So it's starting off at End Market Arena. The game's been sold out for months. What are your expectations there?
I mean, I expect it to be just kind of crazy in the rink. I think a lot of excitement, emotion. Obviously, been a long off season. For the Pirates not making the playoffs. So I think the fans community is really looking forward to this. Probably just as much as we are. But like I said, I love the group in here. So I kind of expect us to have the same excitement and. I think we'll come out with a lot of energy, and just looking forward to seeing what we can do in front of the fans.
Yeah, what did you hear from perhaps some guys returning from last year, or just around the league? How Savannah has become this hotbed of hockey in the ECHL. It's something that really has never been done before. They broke the sellout record of 33 out of 36. They're getting the All-Star game this year. It seems like everything's going up for the Ghost Pirates. Yeah,
I mean, I think just playing in the division for South Carolina, I kind of just saw it myself firsthand. I know Drevi from last year as well, from back home, and just chatted with him a little bit, and he was saying how much he enjoyed it here. So, but even seeing it myself, you could just tell the excitement, and even at times when maybe it seemed like the team was struggling, the fans never weathered in that support for the team. So it's just it's a great place to play, and you have to kind of really enjoy and kind of soak up the moment of kind of having a fan base like that, and especially at this level, it's pretty impressive.
Well, we really appreciate you taking the time. I'm going to ask you one more question, and then you can go. If there's one thing that Ghost Pirates fans need to know about Ryan Scarfo that perhaps not a lot of people even in this room know, what do you think is it? Do you have a secret talent, a secret hobby, or something that you like doing away from the rink?
I would say I actually love to cook. I love, whipping up different meals in the kitchen. I love trying new things. Recipes you get online or TikTok, wherever they come from. I love trying new stuff, and it's really kind of a hobby. And I think having a little bit more free time during the day, sometimes you're able to go to the store and just try different things out. So I would say that would be kind of a hobby of mine, in my spare time.
Okay, Cooking with Ryan Scarfo, a new feature coming to GhostPiratesHockey.com in the future. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. That was episode 5 of Beyond the Graveyard. Can't wait to see you on the ice this season.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Beyond the Graveyard. Have a question for the Ghost Pirates? Send a direct message to our social media channels or email info@GhostPiratesHockey.com. We'll see you next time.